live from Boston, the Red Hat offices.
I'm wearing a red hat. That's how you know.
You're wearing a red hat.
It's Ask Engineer at a Red Hat office. Ask a Red Hat Engineer.
Yeah.
It's me, Lady Ada. With me is Mr. Lady Ada.
Oh.
We're in a conference room that we broke into. We crawled through the vents in the Red Hat offices in Boston. We just finished doing a whole bunch of stuff at the Red Hat conference here in Boston.
Well, we're going to be talking about this. Lady Ada got a really amazing award.
It's a glass award, but it's really heavy. So
but it's for women in open source.
Right.
And you were the community winner, and then there was an academic winner. There's
That's right.
2 women. You're one of the 2. And we'll have a video, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But we decided, let's not cancel the show. Let's try to do the show.
We're going to have a little compressed show. It's going to be a little shorter. Well, next week we have special guests. That's exciting.
Yeah. So
but we'll be back to your full show.
What we're going to do this week is just catch everybody up with the latest going on. We have some videos and more. We also have some MakeCode stuff. We have some new products. And we brought the whole Ask an Engineer setup, and we asked Red Hat if we could use their offices at night after the event to broadcast.
And they said yes.
Yeah. So with that being said, you can probably guess the code. It's Red Hat.
Yay! Red Hat, 10% off everything in the store except for virtual items like gift certificates, Code Academy, or AdaBox subscriptions.
Okay. Show and tell. People around the world showing and sharing their projects. They joined us here in the Red Hat offices in Boston to show their projects and more. Got some MakeCode minutes, some previews of JP show and more. Time travel. We're going to look around and what's going on in the world of makers, hackers, artists, engineers. This week we're going to show the 2019 Women in Open Source Award video that our Lady Ada is in. Get some 3D printing, some factory footage. We got some new products. We'll answer your questions. And please join us in Discord, adafruit.it/Discord. That's where we're at. And then at the very end, we're going to try to do a trivia question. There's a phone in this conference room, so I'm going to just give out the phone number and try to see what happens.
We're going to give away a whole bunch of cool stuff that we swagged from the Red Hat conference.
Yeah, our winnings are your winnings.
Our winnings are yours. But actually, it's some nice stuff.
Yeah.
Like a backpack and...
Yeah, we'll show you what we're going to give away at the end.
USB hub.
Okay, so we've got the deals as usual.
$99 or more, I get a free Proto half-size breadboard, as usual, same size and shape as a solder-full breadboard, a solderless breadboard, but this one's solder-full, so you can take your project and make it permanent once you're done with it. $149 or more, we're giving away a whole collection of different iron or sew-on badges. We have a lot of patches, and we wanted to give some away, so if you order $149 or more, you'll get a different badge. You'll get a random badge, and if you have an account, when you register to check out, then we'll give you a different one each time because we'll keep track of it. $199 or more, you get free UPS ground shipping. That's continental U.S., lower 48 states. High-quality trackable shipping with UPS, which is our favored domestic shipper. And $299 or more, you'll get a free Circuit Playground Express, our premier open source hardware and open source software platform for learning how to code and do physical computing. It's got LEDs, buttons, sensors, alligator clips, and you can code it in Arduino, Circuit Python, MakeCode, TypeScript, more Python, TeenyGo, what have you. It's for everybody
Rust.
from young kids to college post grads and everybody in between.
All right, UPS shipping is what we suggest in the 50 states here.
I'm just pointing at the
Oh yeah,
the
I
icon.
was looking. I think
There's somebody.
Figure out. Hello.
Oh, hi!
Hey, this is one of
She
our
came
friends.
by.
Hey, want to come by?
Want to come in? Yeah, come in.
All right.
We interrupt this broadcast.
Yeah, we have some news.
To alert. No, come by.
You're on the internet.
Hi, Internet.
Hi, this is a really cool. I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Julia.
Julia, this is Julia. We met at a dinner a couple nights ago, and you do OpenStack, and you were too tired to talk about it. I'm not going to ask you about it. He's an awesome Red Hat engineer.
Thank you.
Do you work at? No, you've been traveling, but you don't work out of this office, right?
No, I don't work out of this office.
Okay, well, thank you for coming by.
Yeah, I just thought I'd say hi. And
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go back to taking over the world.
Okay, take
Okay.
over the world.
It was nice
Thank
seeing
you.
you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
coming by,
for coming by.
Julia.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Okay. We might have other Red Hat
Yay.
engineers just come
That was
by.
cool.
That's cool that she found us. She's smart.
Yeah.
She looked around, she found us, and she pointed us.
Yeah, I saw someone walking by.
I did see somebody, and I was like, why are they looking at this?
All right.
But that's Julia. Works
Okay.
on OpenStack.
So anyway,
Very smart.
the shipping stuff. The UPS that's in the United States, we suggest it, and it'll get you there. It'll get your packages, and it'll be trackable. And then Postal Service, if you're willing to wait a little bit. And then DHL will be pretty much the best choice for international
Yes.
sales through customs and more. Okay, in Manhattan, where we're not right now. But if you check out before 11 a.m. on our website, you can get same-day delivery in New York City. Lady Ada, should I tell people around the world showing and sharing their projects?
Yes. I wrote them down on my laptop here. We had a bunch of people come by, including some Adafruit folks. Noah and Pedro showed off their heat insert press. They use a soldering iron to insert little hot press hex nets so they can attach 3D printed parts together, and they use 2020. And it's just a nice linear press, useful for all sorts of projects. We'll have a video about that. JP is doing more MakeCode Arcade stuff. MakeCode Arcade's in beta, but we're releasing hardware to use it. So he'll show how to use a Pi badge we did sprites and animations, and now we're doing tile maps. So how to make a side-scrolling tile map where your character can jump
We'll
around.
have some video of that shortly.
Erin is doing more with her cellophane gems. They are laminated cellophane, like this like iridescent cellophane, and they make these beautiful gems that look like pearl, so opals. And she's lighting them with LEDs, and so she's doing a Steven Universe like gem holder. That these gems look really neat. Anyways, check the video because it's so cool. It's hard to describe, but they look like exactly like opals. Scott wanted to give a big hug report to everybody who went to PyCon 2019. Nina's keynote was great. Thank you, Nina. He showed off a blue Game Gear. Why is it blue? We're not sure. Maybe it's like Sonic thing, but he's got a couple Game Gears. He's working on Game Boy hacking, but Game Gear hacking is next. And he also had a request for the community. Please test out CircuitPython 4.0 RC1. We want to move to RC2 by the end of the week, and if you find bugs in RC1, that'll be great because we'll squash them before going on to the next release candidate. Zen came by on their first show and tell. They have a Feather 328p based haiku ray gun. There's an MP3 player module. They pre-recorded a bunch of haiku lines. It's like the 5-syllable, 7-syllable, or 5-syllable lines. So they recorded a whole bunch of them, and then it randomly plays a different one. So it kind of generates haikus. And what's cool is because haikus are a little they all have some similarities in the style and of course the layout, but the lines can be a little disparate. It kind of has very interesting output, which is very zen. And it uses a lily pad now, and they're making various cases, and like they've had it at a maker fair, and kids were listening to it. But check out this cool haiku ray gun or haiku generator. Sophie is really inspired by the Met Gala photos of really cool campy and like creative dresses and outfits that appeared. Check out those photos. They're on. I saw them on Twitter, but they're also in like every magazine and news show. I'm sure if you look around, they had LEDs and robotics and animations all in fashion. And she's inspired, and she got some RC steering push rod, which you can flex around and have like this flexible wire, and you connect it to a Clovis pin. And then she wants to connect it to servos, so the servos can push out fabric, but they don't necessarily have to be where the fabric is, because the rod can maybe travel through her outfit. So she's kind of experimenting with that. And Travis has come back. He wanted to show off some projects. He works with a bunch of kids, school kids, and I guess the school or the group got a laser cutter, but they can't store it, so he's storing it for them. But he showed off some stuff they made. So they made a candle, like it's a laser cut candle, and they used our LED matrix flame animation to make it into like it looks like a candle, but it's safe. They did a metal filament print to make coins to reward kids for different skills that they've picked up. And also a light-up laser-etched lamp, edge lit with NeoPixels. And so these students are making really cool creative stuff with this laser cutter. And apparently you know some of them as well, and more of them are going to show up on Show and Tell. So that was a Show and Tell.
All right. All participants on the Show and Tell get an As Seen on the Show and Tell sticker. Email support@adafruit.com if you were on the show. If you're a kid, have a parent-like entity. Email us.
Yes.
part of Adafruit Live series of shows. JP's show is tomorrow. Here are some previews of some of the things that he's doing. So we have the Pi Badge video and the side scroll video, which you've not seen yet.
I have not.
Yeah.
Take it away, JP.
And also, like
MakeCode
every
Minute.
week, yep, we have MakeCode Minute with GP. MakeCode Minute is something we do every single week, and it is a little bit longer than a minute. That's okay.
It's okay.
And
Well,
it's,
it's minute. It's minute amounts of
it's a
MakeCode.
minute amount of MakeCode.
Yes.
And here is the latest one from JP.
More arcades.
What I want to talk about in MakeCode Arcade is how to create an animation. So if we look at the advanced section, you can click on the extensions button, and then from there you can pick the animation extension. So I've already picked it, so it appears here. And in the animation extension, I can create an animation or multiple animations, which I'll attach to a character sprite, and then I can add frames. So a really simple example we're going to do is what you see right here in the simulator right now is I have a little idle animation, which means when my character is sitting still, Ruby's eyes are just shifting every once in a while. So the way I've done that is I've created my Ruby character sprite, and then I've set this animation, which I named the anim idle right here, to create an animation, and I also named it idle here for clarity, with an interval of half a second. So every half a second it's going to move to the next frame of the animation. I attach that animation to that player sprite, so this anim idle is attached to Ruby. If you have multiple characters and multiple animations, you can use this to organize things. And then I'm adding frames. So this add frame, we can see when I click on the pixel editor, the first frame of this is Ruby looking off to the side, and then I have Ruby looking forward. So this is just a simple change in the original animation, so you can copy and paste this block multiple times so you don't have to redraw it every time. And then on the next frame, looking again to the side, and I want to hold that pose a little bit, so I'm actually using a duplicate of that frame. Now let's say we want to change this up just a little bit and maybe make Ruby's mouth a little smaller. I'm just going to come in with the pixel brush and remove some of those colored pixels from the sides, and how about off the top and round it a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to hit done on that, and then we can see in the simulator, if I make this big screen, we'll see it a little better. You can see there's a little ooh kind of thing going on there with Ruby's mouth. And if you look over here in the corner, you can see it's playing on this Pi Badge. So I've uploaded the game to the Pi Badge, and you can see I have the little idle animation running on there. And so that is how simple it is to set up a multiple frame animation inside of MakeCode Arcade.
We're back.
Okay, time travel. This week's time travel, it's pretty much
Like an hour ago.
It's pretty much everything that we've been doing the last few days. So congratulations, Lady Ada. You won the Women in Open Source Community Award. 2019 Community Award winner, Lamar Reed.
Yay.
Here you're on stage.
That was earlier today.
This was just like a couple hours ago. And I'll do a post when I'm in one spot, or
Yeah.
even if I'm in a train. but the video is up on Red Hat's YouTube channel. But they also made a video, and it's you and the education winner.
Okay.
And they did like a mini documentary. It's a minute and 35 seconds, so we're going to play it. But this was a big deal because the entire community voted for people, specifically
Doing open
you,
source hardware.
who are doing open source. And you have lots of open
They said
source
they had
repos.
8,000 voters.
Yeah, you have like a lot of repos. You have a lot of code that you put out there, and you also, the most important thing is you have a company and culture that does that.
Yes.
And it's not just you; it's an entire group of people.
No, everybody is. It's not just me. It's a team.
It's an entire group of people that all say, "Hey, this is a pretty good idea." And when we're talking to Red Hat's lawyers, were there? We stopped by the lawyer
Yeah,
pavilion.
they're in a lawyer pavilion.
And it was interesting because we all agree about the same stuff. It's like, yeah, there's no protection on hardware. We should just do open source hardware. And we have trademarks for logos and things, and you have copyrights for code. And hardware, the hardware is important. The code is also important, and these things can work well together. And I think you've done a really good job. So it was neat.
Yeah.
We got here to Boston, and you had rehearsals. You were up on stage, hung out with the Red Hat CTO.
Interviews and dinners and luncheons. And
Delisa, the chief people officer. They have a really good team. I'll say this, like,
it's pro.
there is a change. There is a change with Microsoft CEO was here, so everyone is doing this open source thing. It's not just a fad.
No,
it's not
this
just
is,
a trend.
and they walked the walk. Everything was about open source, and all the speakers
Yeah.
that they had, and all the people who were presenting. It was all about using open standards, open source, open API. They're really dedicated.
Yeah, and Red Hat has a lot of social causes and good things that they're working on for local communities, international communities. So this is neat. Like, there's not, like, we're not going to do anything at the Oracle conference, like, or the SAP, like that. There's nothing.
Tougher.
There's nothing there. They're not really interested in open source in the same way.
Yep.
And so, anyways, that was neat. So let's play this video.
Okay.
It began when I started contributing in open source. I noticed that out of 40 contributors, we were only 2 women. And I thought that something needs to be done about increasing the women contributors.
There is a lot of focus now on how do we get more people into the community, not putting up walls. There's a lot of projects and things you can do that even if you're not a coder, you can help contribute.
Open source is a great way to learn a new technology, and open source is a great way to build communities.
We have this weekly show that we do called Show and Tell. We got an email from a parent. He said, my daughter turned to me and said, are there any boy engineers or are they all girls? Just because we have such a wonderful community that's so inclusive and we have such a wide range of people showing off their projects, this girl was living in a world where she could see so many people of different backgrounds doing engineering.
In open source, there is no foundation as to who can contribute. This way we get a lot of perspectives on a single idea.
When you give people open source, what they do with it, you can't even imagine it.
All right, and we're back. So we're an open source hardware company. I know it because you got an award for it now.
It's true.
Yeah. But we also have
Glass.
1,847 guides.
Ooh.
This week, here's the 3 that we were able to
Short but sweet.
capture quickly before we left.
A lot more coming next week, of course. This week you got the guide for last week's product, the INA 260 current and voltage power sensor breakout. This guide by Brian Seabush, who also designed the hardware. Takes you how to use it with Arduino or CircuitPython, including on our Feather, M boards, Cortex M0 boards, or the NR52840, or even a Raspberry Pi. We also got a guide to go with last week's John Park workshop, the MakeCode arcade pixel animations. Once you've made a sprite, maybe you want to animate it, so like the legs move on this Ruby the Red LED, or maybe Blinka's tongue, kind of moves when she runs around. And how to make the character look different directions as it moves, so it gives your characters a little bit more life. So check out this, and then, of course, this week's guide then tells you how to make maps for your sprites to plan. And then this week's 3D printed project is the heat set insert rig to make a linear rail linear bearing rail that allows you to do any kind of linear up-down motion precisely and repeatedly. So perfect for heat set inserts, but I'm sure can be used for infinite repetitive tasks that anybody who does manufacturing or kitting or cosplay could use.
Okay. All right, let's do some factory footage. Take away Adafruit Factory. We missed the factory.
We miss you, factory.
We'll see you tomorrow, factory.
Okay.
And of course, we have a sunset. We will see the sunset tomorrow.
For now, we're like you, watching
Yeah.
from afar.
All right. 3D printing. We got two videos. One is a sped up to Cricut engine, and the other one is the heat set. So we're going to play those. Take it away, Noah and Pedro.
Hey, what's up,
Yay.
folks? In this project, we're building a rig for installing heat set inserts. So when you're working with 3D printed parts, a press can help you install heat set inserts. The tip of the iron heats up the brass and softens the plastic. Pressing down pushes the insert into the part, and as it cools down, it's pretty much locked in place. This could be pretty handy for folks that are doing a small production run, or if you're just looking for a tool to make this easier. The knurling on the outside of these brass inserts are designed for thermoplastics. This tip is specially designed for installing inserts, and it works a lot better than your regular soldering iron tip. These are compatible with irons that use the internal ceramic heaters, like the many Hackos and Wellers. This thing has a longer shank than the MakeMaster ones, so you can reach into deeper parts and tighter corners without touching the plastic. This thing holds the soldering iron vertically and allows you to press down perfectly straight. This thing feels like pressing a hot knife through butter. The linear motion on this is pretty smooth, and it makes it oddly satisfying. Just look at these shots. This is definitely over-engineered, and we spent way too much time on it. But hey, you know what? I ruined way too many parts to keep doing this by hand. The rig is pretty modular, it uses common hardware, The 3D printed parts could be remixed and modified if you want to use other components. There's a learn guide for this project, so you can build your own. Links are in the description. Threaded inserts are pretty good for making bolted connections, especially when you're securing parts together. Adding metal threads to your parts kind of adds more durability to it, because you can loosen the connection and take it apart without wearing out the threads. Holding the iron straight seems simple enough and it works fine most of the time, but the shape of a regular soldering iron can actually pull it out while it's melting the plastic because it's tapered, and that can totally ruin your parts. So the bottom of the insert just barely fits over the mounting hole and rests on top. The insert needs to be lined up with the tip in order to go in straight. I think using a vise to hold parts is way better than holding it by hand, as it could be a little shaky. The stick vise is nice because it's got a low profile and it's level with the platform. Works much better than helping hands or a pan vise. The build uses a piece of 2020 aluminum extrusion and a roller carriage. It's got ball bearings and wheels that go up and down the piece of 2020. It's counterweight, so it's effortless to press down and lift it back up. There's a pulley and idler at the top for a paracord to loop around the ball bearing. The soldering iron is clamped to an arm and bolted to the roller carriage. There's a little T-nut, and it acts as an end stop or a depth stop to prevent the tip of the iron from hitting the platform. The platform itself is just a piece of wood with the 2020 secured to a 3D printed bracket. This thing makes heat sets so much more precise, and it gives perfectly straight results most of the time. The original design was a hacked plunge router attachment. Albeit it was simple and cute, the hardware made it difficult to use and it only worked with small parts. Bill Binko put together a nice mock-up in Fusion 360. His design uses a roller carriage and a pulley to move the iron up and down the piece of 2020. I riffed on his idea and designed the parts to be a little bit more minimal, uses less hardware, and prints without any support material. Bill and I both went back and forth to come up with this. So if you're making a lot of parts and need to streamline your production, a press rig might be the tool that you didn't know you needed.
And here is the Cricut engine sped up.
Project.
Okay, don't forget you can learn how to make all these things every single Wednesday on 3D Hangouts with Pedro. So, just a little bit of reminder, we're here at
Red Hat
offices. That's the code. And we're
10%
celebrating Lady Ada's Women in Open Source Community Award, which you got on stage just a few hours ago. And with all that being said,
let's get on to new products. New.
all right. Okay, so let's go through the
Yeah, we'll
first
do
batch.
virtual
These are the fluorescent.
Yeah, we put in the thermochromic inks powders, and now we have this pressed powder that's UV reactive. So this is a pink color. It comes in a little plastic tin, and then we have like one drawing. It's the same drawing, but you can see all the different colors. Under UV, it glows this beautiful bright color. You also have purple. The same photo, you can see the purple. Green, which is like really vivid. And that's the Adafruit star. And yellow, which is also very vivid. The yellows and greens are very vivid, but the pinks and purples are too. And there's more colors that they were available in, but these will look the best. So we sort of started with these, and we only wanted to carry ones that we thought would look really good under UV LED or blacklight. So you can mix this with almost any material you like, whether it be water or wax or plastic, and make something that glows under blacklight.
All right, next up.
We also have what Philby calls the deluxe party tray buttons. So the place I get my silicone buttons from also had this available, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Wish I had it to show to you, but it basically is an 8 segmented case, and you get the case, and each one of them I think has about 20 LED and 20 6mm tactile buttons, and each button has a different color top. So if you can go to the next photo, you get red, orange, yellow, green, blue, brown, white, and black. You get a wide range of colors, and they're all the same 6mm tactile buttons that you're used to using in a breadboard, but you get this like deluxe party tray. So you can take this on the go and snack on them, whatever you like. No, don't snack on them. But yeah, you can see each little thing opens up individually.
All right, next up.
Next up, we have 2 more battery packs. These are open style battery packs, so they're lighter and easier to remove the batteries, but they also don't have on-off switches. We have them as a 2 AAA, and also we have a matching 2 AA one. These give you about 2.7 to 3.2 volts basically from alkalines, and then 2.2 to 2.8 volts with nickel metal hydrides. These are really good for use with microbit. If we wanted to carry like an alternative battery pack for use with microbit, but it could be used for other projects where you only need about 2 to 3 volts to power them. So now we have 2, pardon me, we have 2, 3, and 4 AA and AAA battery cases.
And to be clear, these do come with the case.
Yes, you get the case,
Yeah.
and you get 20 of each color.
Yep.
160 total.
Okay.
It's a low cost.
And then at the start of the show tonight, besides Hewley Data, the community, the open source groups that we all met with, is
Yay.
these wheels.
Michael, it's this is a really nice wheel. This is a rubber wheel for robotics, and we carry a couple different wheels, but I like this one in particular because it can be used 3 ways. When you get the wheel, it has these 2 little plastic pieces that you can pop out, or they might come loose. And they can convert, by default, it has a cross, and that cross is Lego compatible. So if you've ever done Lego robotics, you know that the axles have this cross shape. So that will fit onto the wheel. So you can use this for any of your Lego robot projects. It's a nice rubber wheel with treads on it. I think it's about 65 millimeters in diameter. But the little adapters, when you plug them in, they let you use also TT motors, which are kind of like the large yellow motors that we like. They're very low cost. And also N20, which are the geared down, all metal gear, smaller motors that you see. They're common. I see them on like a lot of Plolu projects, but also other robots. So yeah, if you see here, this photo, which I think is really nice, you can see on the right, there's the Lego axle. In the middle, there's the N20 mini metal geared motor, and on the left is the TT large plastic geared motor. So you can use with any of these 3, and so it's a really good value because you get 1 wheel and then you can use it for any robotics project.
All right. And with that, this is the product show.
Yay!
Let's do the recap.
Yes. Mini new. We have these fluorescent powders that you can mix with water or oil or wax or whatever to make fluorescent items. We get them in pink. We have it in purple. We have it in this really bright green. And we have it in this glorious lemon yellow, which is kind of this classic UV reactive color. And these work great with UV lights or black lights. And yeah, you mix them with whatever you want. You can paint it or integrate it into your project to make it UV reactive.
Party tray.
Party tray, deluxe party tray. I have LEDs coming in. Have some. They're delicious. You can get 8 different colors or 6mm tactile buttons in this lovely little tray. You can open up each individual component. You get 20 of each color: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, brown, white, black. Very handy if you want to decorate your project, more colors. We have 2 AA battery, 2 dual alkaline battery holders with JST connectors on the end. These are great for use with microbit or other projects that have a JST input. These are the open style. Last week we had the closed style with the on-off switches. These are a little lighter and smaller. So if you need to tuck this into something that takes up less space, use these if you need something with 2 to 3 volts power. And then we have this lovely 2-part wheel, this rubber wheel that is can be used with 3 different kinds of motors. As seen here on the right, you can use it with Lego cross axles, so anything with Lego robotics, it works great. And then it comes with 2 adapters. When you plug them in, it makes like a very solid connection. You can also use it with N20 metal geared motors. You can see in the middle there, and on the left you can use it with the low-cost TT plastic gear motors that we like that are very common.
Let's do products with me.
And it's new products.
All right, like I said, we're going to do a slightly shorter version of the show because we got to get out of here because we're in, you know,
We're in the Red Hat offices. We have to.
we're in.
They're all like, "Why are you
We're
here?"
in Red Hat's offices. So let's do some questions. Go to adafruit.it/discord and we'll answer some questions. I see Stella's in the chat. Hi, Stella.
Hey, Stella.
And then the giveaway we're going to do in a little bit is going to be a little different because I found a phone in here. So there's a
And
phone.
you can call it.
Yeah, there's a phone number
Can't
on
call
it.
it, yeah, because we haven't given you the phone number.
Yeah.
But
and
once
so,
we do.
So I think we're going to do that. So while we're waiting for the questions to come in, how many total buttons are in the button?
Look at the product page, but I believe
160.
I believe it's 160. It's
Yeah.
20 times 8 colors.
So all the attendees at the Red Hat Summit got these
Sweet
really
bags.
nice backpacks.
It's a nice bag with a rubber bottom.
So I have enough backpacks, and so does Lady Ada.
It also comes with stuff that's not in here.
Yeah, there's stuff. They put things in here. So whatever's in here, we're
And
gonna
there's
give you.
other stuff we're going to give you. You get these Yeti caps. It's like
There-
good
yeah.
swag. This isn't so useful.
Whatever's in here, we're gonna.
But you
give
get at least the backpack and a
Yeah.
bunch of other goodies.
So we're gonna try to do this. We're gonna try to give it away.
Yeah.
But that's the plan. So it's a nice backpack. It has Red Hat all over it.
It's a nice backpack. It's
Yeah.
got this nice
And it has the
separated
new
back.
it has the new logo, and the chief marketing officer
They got
was
it
on
tattooed.
stage. He got a real tattoo.
He's like, check this out. And he like
Yeah.
pulled up his arm and it's
So
his
that's
sleeve
a
and he had
real
it
swag
tattooed.
bag. Okay.
Okay.
Let me see if there's any.
But it's a
other
nice
questions.
swag bag. It's the quality. It's not just like a laundry bag
There might not be any.
or a koozie.
We might be okay to give away.
Yeah,
stuff.
no questions.
No. Well, if there's any questions that come in, I'll.
Okay.
All right. So here's
Call
what we're
this
gonna
number.
do. No, well, I'll do it in a second. So
Okay.
the trivia question is. Just go with this. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Because the phone's gonna ring, and I think I'm gonna try to put on speakerphone,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna just post the number in the chat. So I have the number,
Okay.
and if you won before, don't
Don't
play.
enter again. Only one winner per my lifetime, even though we're not the Adafruit factory.
Yeah, and
Or when you call in, and if it works out, we're gonna ask you your name, where you're calling from,
yeah,
and a project you're
I put
working
it.
on.
I
You
put
wanna
it
work
in
on,
the
or
chats.
if you like using Red Hat or Fedora.
But-
Who knows? Maybe there's a sysadmin.
all right, so let's see if it rings. I'll just put it on speakerphone, and it has a Red Hat logo too. It's like
It's very fancy.
a bat phone.
Very fancy phone.
All right, so let's see what happens here. And
Let's see.
yeah, let me see if I can see where this goes. All right, yeah. So here's the phone. You
Here's
can
the phone.
see that.
Very nice phone.
And I cut and paste the phone number in the chat. Hope I got it right. Otherwise, someone else is getting a bunch of calls. See
Yeah,
the
sorry,
Red
other
Hat-
person.
See the Red Hat logo on it? Oh,
Oh wait.
this is it.
Somebody's calling.
Someone's calling.
Somebody's calling. You want to answer it?
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
You won.
Hello?
Hi.
You won.
Congratulations, you're the winner.
Hey,
Hello.
this is Roberto. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You won.
Maybe they can't
It's
hear us.
awesome. Hey, it's one Virtual. I've been on Show and Tell a bunch of times. It's cool to see y'all in Boston.
Hello.
Yay! Okay, well, congratulations.
All right, you won.
You won a fabulous backpack. Wait, oh no, we have to reject that call.
No, I'm just gonna keep going.
Okay, email support@adafruit.com and say it's Roberto. I think you're from Florida, and
what are you
can get
working
a
on?
backpack. What are you working on now?
I have a Pi portal, and I'm trying to get it to send REST requests to a MP3 player that I've had for a while.
All right.
All right, cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, hey, it's really good to hear from y'all. It's cool to see y'all in Red Hat. Thanks again for putting up these contests. I hadn't seen a trivia. Well, was there a trivia question or?
No, that was we just asked who you
Sort
were.
of. That was it. I mean, and I found this phone in this conference room. They're letting us borrow the Red Hat offices for the show. So I figured that would be the way we gave away the prize.
Whatever.
It worked.
Works out.
All right. Thanks so
All right,
much.
thank you.
Okay. Bye, Roberta.
Okay, bye, Roberto.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That worked.
Success. I think you have to hang up, right?
I don't know.
No, it hung up. Okay, great.
Okay.
All right, that was the show.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah. Someone's like Red Hat's gonna. Someone's gonna be in here and get a phone. I don't think anyone uses phones so much anymore.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, special thanks to everyone at Red Hat who hosted us here. Thank you. Big thanks to Tom, who's out there.
He's hanging out. We have to be couriered around.
Yeah, we have to make sure we're not by ourselves in their
We're not.
offices. We're not. And thanks to all the Adafruit team members who were taking care of Adafruit while we're out. Thank you so much. Thank you all the remote team members. Let's see. Thanks to Cara, who helped out with some.
Thanks to Cara, who knows
trivia
Janelle
questions.
Monáe.
And then shout out to
Trivia.
all the Adafruit community members in Discord, and then all the folks that were at PyCon. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next week. We'll be at regular New York City.
And we might have some special
and
guests.
I think there'll be a guest too. So watch the blog and more. And special thanks once again to the entire open source community that came out and voted for Lady Ada for this award. And we were really.
I got a hat.
You got a hat, and you got some other stuff too.
Yeah, we got. Well, I want to give away all that swag. It's going to be
lots
in
of socks.
Lots of socks.
They give away socks. We'll see everybody next week.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Oh, don't forget the code's Red Hat.
Don't forget the code's Red Hat, 10% off everything that is physical.
All right. Here is your moment of Zener.
I think we have everything, right?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We packed the Zeners.
Yeah. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.